Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about a drama thriller film called A Bigger Splash from 2015. Enjoy your viewing. Marianne and her new boyfriend, Paul, come to the south of Italy for a vacation, staying at their friend's house while they are away. Marianne is a rock star, and at her last concert she tore her voice off, which forced her to undergo surgery on her vocal cords, so she came with Paul to this quiet and cozy place for rehabilitation. They are having a great time, but at some point Marianne receives a call from her ex-boyfriend, Harry, who used to be a rock star producer, and introduced Marianne to Paul. According to Harry, he has a crazy surprise for the couple that he will show them at the airport. He will arrive in 5 minutes and asks Marianne and Paul to meet him. This surprise is Harry's daughter Penelope, about whom neither Marianne nor Paul knew anything, although they had known Harry for a long time, who himself learned about his daughter about a year ago, when Penelope decided to find out who her real father was. Penelope usually spends the whole summer with her mother, but sometimes the woman sends the girl to her father's house to get some rest on her own. Harry shows her the way to a restaurant located on a hillside, but all the seats are taken, so the owner asks her to come back tomorrow. One of the visitors recognizes Marianne and makes room at a table for her and her friends. In a conversation with Harry, Marianne and Paul learn that he and Penelope have nowhere to stay because all the hotel rooms are occupied because of a festival that is to be held soon on the island. At Marianne's request, Paul offers Harry and Penelope a place to stay at their house. Seeing the pool in the yard, Harry jumps into the water in his clothes. In the morning, Paul and Marianne find Harry cooking fish in the kitchen. While the couple was sleeping, Harry managed to go to the store and buy a lot of food. Later, Harry's friends arrive at the mansion and he introduces Paul, Marianne, and Penelope to them. During dinner, Sylvia reminds them that there is a festival in town tonight, which everyone is going to attend except Paul, who needs to test his camera lenses. Left alone with Marianne, Harry tries to reunite with her again, regretting that he allowed the woman to go to Paul. But Marianne thanks Harry for introducing her to Paul because he makes her feel happy. While wandering the streets of the town, Paul meets Penelope. The girl tells him that she wants to make documentaries. Paul advises Penelope not to follow her father's example. That is, not to meddle where she is not asked. Penelope responds by telling Paul that Harry has told her a lot about him, but there is almost nothing good in these stories. According to Harry, Paul has a big problem with alcohol. Paul does not deny it, but he does not want to talk about it. Meanwhile, Harry and Marianne, having danced enough, go to a bar where they drink something forbidden. At the karaoke bar, Harry starts singing songs, gathering a huge crowd of people who want to listen. Among the strangers, Harry notices Penelope, whom he asks to sing with him. Their duet surprises Marianne and Paul, who discuss Harry's behavior in bed the next morning. In their opinion, he is ready to have fun with anything that moves, and it seems even with his own daughter. While Marianne is preparing breakfast, Paul goes to help Harry, who has lost control of the car and driven off the road. They are unable to pull the car out together, so Paul and Harry decide to return home and call a tow truck. Arriving at the mansion, Harry strips naked in front of Marianne and Penelope and jumps into the pool, while Paul goes to take a shower. When he swims up to Marianne, Harry asks to borrow her car to go into town. Marianne agrees, but asks Harry to take her with him because she needs to buy groceries. When Harry and Marianne leave, Penelope throws the coins into the pool and then dives in to retrieve them. When she retrieves the coins, she asks Paul to throw his watch into the water so that she can retrieve it like a treasure hunter. So that the girl does not interfere with his work, Paul suggests that she walk around the island, especially since there is a small lake nearby with many vacationers. Penelope does not know where this lake is, so she persuades Paul to go with her. Meanwhile, Harry and Marianne arrive at the supermarket, where Marianne tries to talk to Harry about his naked dance with Penelope yesterday. He confesses that he feels something for the girl he has known for only a year, but he tries to control himself and not have fun with his daughter. At this time, Paul and Penelope are heading to the lake. Paul admits that he used to not like this life. He left a note with only one name on it, Marianne, with whom they later tore up the note together. Seeing the lake, Penelope rushes to it. When Paul reaches the water, he finds a completely naked girl lying on the rocks. If before Paul tried to ignore her flirtations, now Paul obeys her. Meanwhile, Marianne and Harry return from the city. Marianne is worried because Paul and Penelope are not at home, but Harry reassures her that they probably just went out for a walk. While sorting the groceries, Harry unexpectedly kisses Marianne. Giving in to her old feelings, the woman reciprocates, but there is no continuation. Marianne still loves Harry, but she won't break up with Paul. In response, Harry says that it is better for them not to see each other at all. Paul and Penelope return from the lake. Everyone sits down to dinner, but no conversation ensues. Paul and Penelope say some ambiguous phrases, and Penelope goes to her room. Paul asks if Harry and Marianne were bored, and Harry gets up and goes to Penelope. The girl says she wants to leave. The vacation went well, and she got everything she wanted, and she will remember this vacation for the rest of her life. But now it's time to leave the island. Harry promises that they will do it in the morning. Harry returns to the table. We can tell by the look in his eyes that he suspects something. Paul goes to see Marianne, while Harry leaves. According to Paul, he's had enough of Harry. The boy goes outside, where after a while he hears the sound of an approaching car. In a state of severe intoxication, Harry goes to the pool and dives into the water. Noticing Paul, Harry leaves the pool, and a quarrel breaks out between the two men. They try to figure out who was having fun with whom during this time. Their argument escalates into a fight, which ends up with both of them in the water. Harry is always bullying Paul, and to calm him down, he puts him in the water. When Harry stops moving, Paul, frightened, tries to bring him to consciousness, but realizing that Harry is already dead, leaves the body in the pool and goes to the bedroom, sitting next to Marianne as if nothing had happened. In the morning, Harry's body was discovered by the housekeeper, who reported it to Marianne. She ran to the pool and started screaming. The local inspector doesn't understand a word of English and asks Clara to translate his questions, but the worker doesn't speak good English herself. Marianne realizes that this will not work, and the inspector asks all three of them to come to the police station. With the help of an interpreter, the inspector tells Marianne that sand was found at the bottom of the pool and that Harry was not alone because there was a fight. Marianne says that if the inspector wants to press charges against Paul, she will call a lawyer. In response, the inspector asks the woman to calm down and begins to talk about the behavior of migrants on the island, who have already outnumbered the locals. Just yesterday, several migrants drowned in the sea, but some managed to escape, and they are now also in the police station. Marianne says that behind their villa there is a path that leads directly to the pool, and anyone could have walked along it and fought with Harry. In this way, she hints at migrants, because she, Paul, and Penelope are definitely not capable of doing this. The inspector promises to interrogate the migrants and find the culprit. After the interrogation, all three return to the villa. Paul confesses to Marianne that he killed Harry. He swears that he tried to help him, but it was too late. The next day, Paul and Marianne take Penelope to the airport. The girl gets on the plane and starts crying, and Paul and Marianne return to the villa. On the way, a police car with its siren on catches up with them. Getting out of the car, Marianne walks towards the inspector who questioned them. Paul starts to worry, thinking that the police have found something. But the inspector just hands Marianne a CD of her songs, asking her for an autograph. If you have watched the video so far, you should know that I am happy to have viewers like you. Thank you for watching to the end. Subscribe to the channel and follow the news. Klontsak Recapped was with you. See you soon.